Hello there, this is Retro Spirits Gaiden, and this is the 16-bit beat-em-ups I own, ranked. If you're a Capcom fan, you might call these belt action, but if you're like me from the 1980s, you'll call them scrolling beat-em-ups, or even fighting games. But that's confusing because then it means Street Fighter 2, which isn't on this list. This is scrolling beat-em-ups that feature characters that walk from left to right, beating the crap out of gangs of perps for your pleasure. There are no Neo Geo games in this list, and they're only 16-bit home console games. So here we go. In 15, we've got Iron Commando. This is on the Super Nintendo. This is trying so hard to be a Capcom fighting game, visually, that it's painful. But what they've done is they've put loads of stuff in the foreground so you can't see what's going on when you're actually playing the game, and you can only attack one person at once, so the collision detection only works on one enemy. Which means you just get donkey punched continuously, or knifed in the arse, which is no fun at all. So this game basically sucks balls a bit, and that's why it's 15 on my list. In 14 is the Combat Tribes. This is a beat-em-up where you've got a massive noggin and very small legs, which is disconcerting. But anyway, you get 4 sprites on screen at the same time to beat up, and you've got context-sensitive special moves, which is kind of fun. The problem with this game, and why it's so low on the list, is that the AI, after about level 3, is as cheap as chips. It will just pummel you with no route for you to win. It's annoying. In 13 is Final Fight. So this is on the Super Nintendo. This is the conversion of Final Fight. The original one, where you get to choose Hagar and Cody. And why it's so low down on the list is, it's just a weak facsimile of Final Fight. It's lost a lot of the graphics. It's sluggish to play. It's unresponsive. It's okay, but it's not a patch on the arcade version of Final Fight. So it's 13. In 12 is Streets of Rage on the MEGADRIVE. Now this is Sega's answer to Final Fight, and what they've done here is they've made it a 2-player game, and they've reduced the visual fidelity but increased the music fidelity, so the music is absolutely epic on this game. And the gameplay is fine, even though it's kind of slow, sort of 30 frames a second gameplay. That's what it feels like anyway. But it is better than the SNES Final Fight conversion. I've played it a load more, so that's why it's higher in the list. Go figure. In 11 is the Return of Double Dragon. Sleeping Dragon has awoke. Now this game definitely runs at 30 frames a second. It's slow-assed and not that exciting, but what it has in its favour is a highly technical fighting engine where you've got lots of context-sensitive moves, and it feels like you're having a proper fight. So that's cool. Well, in the Super Famicom version it does anyway. The Super Nintendo one is apparently not as good. But this is the Famicom version. Super Famicom, that is. And it's cool. In 10 is Undercover Cops. Another arcade conversion, this one by IREM on SNES. This plays a bit like a Final Fight game. It's got the pace, it's got the attitude. The audio visuals are alright. But mainly it's the pace of this game which I enjoy. Visuals not so much, but the actual action is kind of fun. So that's why it's at the list. It's alright. In 9 is Vigilante. This is the only PC Engine game on the list. PC Engine fans, sorry about that. But I don't own any other scrolling beat-em-ups on the PC Engine. You can complete this game in 15 minutes if you're any good, or less, maybe even 10 minutes. And that's why it's so high up the list, because I've played it a load. I've played it loads more than the other games that precede it, because you can just get through it so quick. It's repetitive, yes, but it is fun, and it's always good for a 10-minute blast, so I play this game loads. That's Vigilante. It's cool. In 8 is Alien Storm. This one is on the list mainly because it's got lots of variety. Don't shoot the chickens! And I used to play this loads back in the day, 2-player with my mate Stu. So nostalgia value really, but it is a cool Golden Axe style scrolling beat 'em up with running and warehouse destroying stages in it. So you can't say fairer than that. It's kind of groovy. I like it. I like the music, I like the visuals, and I like the setting. In 7 is Batman Returns. So this is on the Super Nintendo, and this is a Konami game on the SNES. So therefore it has awesome graphics and awesome sound. The game itself is a fast-paced scrolling beat 'em up. The enemies never relent. What you do have is some side-scrolling platform stages. I believe there's a driving section as well. So we've got variety. It's just genuinely a fun time. I'm not a superhero fan, but I do like this game. In 6 we have Bare Knuckle 3. This is the third Streets of Rage game on the Sega Mega Drive. It has very arcade style graphics. It has a boss fight in front of a sunset with some bins, and it has AI generated music or something. There's something going on with the music, and it has a lady wearing a miniskirt and a crop top. So what more do you want? Yeah, it's just a good version of Streets of Rage. In 5 is Altered Beast. Now this is another game, probably for nostalgia value. It's why it's so high up on the list, but another game which you can play to completion in 15 minutes, and this is a pack-in with my original Mega Drive I bought back in the day. Therefore, nostalgia, like I said, is playing a massive part in this high up on the list. But what I will say for it is, I'll play it more than, say, I don't know, Final Fight on the SNES, because I can complete it in 15 minutes, and you got animal transformations. Oh yeah, changing into a bear, or in this case, a tiger. In 4 is Golden Axe on the Sega Mega Drive. This is an oldie but goldie. Used to play this a lot in the arcade, 2-player. You can ride beasts, and then you can kill people with beasts. That's kind of unique, isn't it? And it's just a fun scrolling fighter in which you can use magic to burn the skin off your foes. Thusly, eat my dragon breath. Yeah, it's a fun game. Also a short game, which is cool. In 3 is Final Fight 2. This is so high up the list really because I've played it a huge amount for some reason. I don't know really why. It's better than the original Final Fight conversion in terms of gameplay. It does have graphics and sound which have a quality improvement, but I wouldn't say they're brilliant. Mainly I'm just a bit of a sucker for Hager and his screw pile driver. He's a beefy man with a moustache, large boots. What else do you need to know? In 2 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Turtles in Time. That's a mouthful. This is a genuinely awesome conversion of a cool arcade fighting game. It's only 2-player. The arcade version, was 4 players. Yeah, it's just got cool stuff all the way through. It's a genuinely fun time. It's got awesome graphics, awesome sound. It's fast-paced, fluid, and a challenge. So, well done, Konami. Cowabunga indeed. In 1, we have Bare Knuckle 2. Now I'm using Max here. I don't really use Max a lot. He's no Hager. But Bare Knuckle 2 is the finest scrolling beat 'em up on a 16-bit platform. There's nothing on the Neo Geo that's going to beat this. There's nothing on the SNES that beats this as far as I know. But this is rampantly playable, has awesome arcade-style graphics, brilliant soundtrack, and a beautiful gameplay. It is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best 16-bit scrolling fighting game ever made. And for that, it's number 1 on the list. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that, are they? So, don't even try. If you know a better 16-bit scrolling fighter than Streets of Rage 2, please let me know in the comments, because I need to play it. Right, Hager's arrived. He's telling you to shift your ass out of town. He's got a massive thumb pointing the direction in which you should go. Pointing at his traps. Look at the size of those bad boys. Anyway, that's the end of my list. I own 15 scrolling fighting games, and they are ranked. The only bad game is Iron Commando, I think. But there we go. If you know any better, let me know. Alright then, ta-ra!